I've been part of the campaign to Save the Meadows for, I guess it's 18 months or so now. Really ever since I moved to Hollybush estate following my treatment for breast cancer. Maybe 15 years ago this seemed like quite a good idea, but things have changed since then. We know now how bad climate situation is. We've also more recently in the last 6 months discovered that what Valinda said they were going to be doing in this site is no longer happening. So there's not going to be inpatient beds, there's not going to be the research facilities that were suggested. So in fact they really don't need that much more of a bigger site than they're already on. And in terms of the car parking, which is often mentioned, there could easily be a multi-storey car park put on the site that they're on now.
This area has had 4 of the 10 most contentious planning applications in Cardiff over the last 10 years. However, construction is still due to begin, and we're even seeing in a new planning application to confirm the CEMP, the Construction Environment Management Plan, or something like that, the CEMP. We've still seen difficulty engaging with the planning process. Files have been changed and timelines of consultation haven't been extended. People asking questions haven't had answers, but you still only have a short amount of time, I think 21 days to engage in the process.
If there are other brownfield places available, I think they should always be used before a greenfield space. And here we know that there's not just one brownfield site, there are 2 brownfield sites that they could use to build a hospital.
I really want them to pay attention to the letter that was released in November that they did receive prior to Vaughan Gethin making the decision to fund this project. It just seems like they haven't read any of the evidence that has been given. And even the Nuffield Trust had said that this isn't an ideal location. And they're looking at a short-term gain for a long-term problem. And they need to really look in depth at the amount of money that they're considering spending on something that is out of date and is not going to serve cancer patients well. I put my name forward and I am seeking a judicial review and asking the Senedd to answer these questions as an individual, but also on behalf of the Save the Meadows campaign and all the medics and clinicians and the environmental campaigners. So I'm kind of like a figurehead, I suppose, but as an individual, it's me that's actually seeking this judicial review.
Well, we're back on the Northern Meadows following the disappointing news when Cat Lewis lost her appeal for a judicial review in the case here. We're back here to show our support for the campaign, and I'm here with Rhys Ab-Owen, the Senedd member for South Wales Central, and our colleague in the Common Ground Green arrangement. If you'd like to share any of your thoughts.
Yeah, diolch yn fawr, Auntie. It's great to be here on a lovely winter's day in the Northern Meadows, and it's great to be here with some Plaid Cymru campaigners who've been working tirelessly to protect this meadow and arguing for the proper cancer treatment centre in South Wales.
We are still standing firm in our opposition to building on this wonderful meadow because it's a special place for people of Cardiff. Secondly, it's not the right place to build a standalone hospital because that is not the modern, up-to-date care for cancer patients now. A new hospital needs to be co-located with another general hospital, such as in Clatterbridge in Liverpool. Apart from that, we are going to destroy a whole area of wonderful nature, heronry, and the amazing trees we have here, which soaks up groundwater and helps prevent floods. Also, we're going to be tied in for another quarter of a century with the new MIM, which equates to the old PFI, and the cost of that is going up every day. At the moment, we're about 500 million, and that is, in my mind, a death sentence for the health of people in the future and our children.
The decisions that have been made by the planners, by the Cardiff Council and by the developers here don't stand up to a logical investigation at all. The original plan was really drawn up sometime in the mid-90s, and now if we look at this in terms of the climate crisis, in terms of the hospital and the medical argument, and in terms of the state of the planet and in terms of the wealth of biodiversity that's in this area, there are other alternative sites that could have been used that are much better placed to serve the health argument and also to serve the people of Cardiff.
I find it sad to be here on the Meadows today. Plaid Cymru candidates opposed development of this site back in 2016. So here we are now going into the next year, the next council election. Once again, we'll be opposing development on this site. Whether it's in an inappropriate cancer clinic, I can't use the word hospital, it's the wrong kind of hospital on the wrong site at the wrong price, and it shouldn't be done. The danger is it may not be a hospital or a clinic of any kind, it may be a housing development. Either way, we've always opposed it, and this coming year we'll be opposing this development.
I want the Welsh Government to really read and listen to what the clinicians and patients who have been through the experience of treatment on various locations have to say. I want them to really look at the ecological situation here and the different species that are on this site. I want them to look at the alternative options that are most definitely available to them, and land that is owned by the Health Authority or owned by Cardiff Council. There are other sites available that would please everybody, and I just want them to really properly look at the clinical evidence. So it just doesn't seem that they're being flexible and they're listening to the community and they're listening to the ecologists, all the medics, the clinicians who are saying that co-location is the best option for cancer patients, for the future of cancer research. And it just seems like they're not taking any notice of all the developments that have happened in the last few years and are not adapting their plans at all. And we know that now is not the time to be developing green spaces when there are other options that are available. And we've pointed out those options as a group to them, and they just seem to be ignoring everything.